Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and right behind me is a 10-inch bore Confederate Civil War cannon. And I am at the Texas Civil War Museum in Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm going to go through and show you a select few of the artifacts in the museum. Hope you enjoy it. The building itself looks like a Civil War time building. There is a large collection of weapons and uniforms in the museum, but I'm just going to show you some of the other things that I think you would like to see. I'm sure you've all seen the weapons and uniforms before.
Soldier is sick. His first reaction would be to try to kill himself, using a home remedy to his will. If this didn't work, he had no choice but to turn out his sick home and work with the regimental surgeon. Laws and found themselves trying to do too much for cure. Medical science in the 1960s had a very profession, so sterilizing instruments or investments of the world. Created a situation where sickness and disease were rampant. Epidemics of measles, smallpox, and typhus were especially prevalent in new troops. Malaria from surgery was practically guaranteed profession. He was a rare soldier who defeated infinitely better and died quickly from disease that would be killed out. The average soldier was sick. His first reaction would be to try to kill himself, using the home remedies very light. Most surgeons commented on that. Too often simply found themselves trying to do too much with too little. Early in the war, patriotic examining physicians passed as healthy thousands of men with handicaps or physical defects. Later, when both sides began conscription, many old and amputated from each side of existence and subjected to the hardships of the empire. Smallpox and typhus were especially prevalent in new troops. Malaria was common.
Behind her, thus setting off the musket powder contained in the friction primer. The charge travels down the vent into the powder bag. Spring gun crew performed its duty smoothly and with little loss of motion. However, silencing your opponent's weapon is priority on both sides. Cannoneers suffered high cavalry rates as infantry sharpshooter destruction. gun crew contained 8 men, which consisted of 7 cannoneers and a gunner. The gunner was generally a
In May 1865, after 4 bloody years of conflict, the last battle of the war between the states would be fought on the open plains of South Texas, located 12 miles east of the city of Brownsville in the area known as Palmetto Ranch. The Confederate cavalry in the west, General John S. Rest in Peace Ford commanding, engaged federal forces under the command of Colonel Theodore H. Barrett. On May 11, 1865, Colonel Theodore H. Barrett, the acting commander of the federal island camp, Brazos, Santiago, would call upon Lieutenant Colonel David Branson of the 62nd U.S. Colored Infantry Regiment to go to the mainland and forage for fresh meat and to capture horses for the U.S. cavalry. The total number of Federals amounted to about 300 men. The Union force moved south towards Brownsville, marching all day and night, reaching the mainland in a driving rainstorm. The next day, May 12, 1865, the Federal force was now on the Texas mainland and continued to march further into the Confederate-held area. Knowing that his men needed to rest, Lieutenant Colonel Branson decided to take refuge in a clump of chaparral down by the Rio Grande River. The Federals were spotted by a group of French imperialist troops on the Mexican side of the border. This group of soldiers would give alarm to the Confederates in Brownsville. The Confederates, already knowing the Federal forces were on the mainland and marching to Brownsville, did not wait for a fight. As the Confederates were gathering their forces, Colonel Ford sent skirmishers to engage the Federals in order to slow their advance. At daybreak, Saturday, May 13, 1865, the men of the 34th Indiana, some 200 men, were added to the Federal force. With Colonel Barrett now commanding a combined force of 500, he pushed forward to Palmetto Ranch. There, the Federal force met a sizable force of Confederates and engaged in a fight. Roughly at 4 p.m., the Confederate force grew larger as Colonel Ford showed up with reinforcements which included 3 cannons, of which at least one was manned by French imperialist troops. Ford quickly acted and encouraged his men, even the French gunners speaking in their native tongue, saying, "Allons, allons," the English translation being "hurry, hurry." Colonel Barrett quickly gathered his men and formed a battle line, only to be hit by the Confederate artillery with great accuracy. This is the only instance where organized troops from another country participated in the American Civil War. As the Texans continued pushing and attacking in cavalry, the Federal line began to break. Seeing this, Barrett ordered a retreat back to the safety of Brazos, Santiago Island. Skirmishers were posted to protect the rear of the retreating Federal forces, which fell to the 62nd United States Colored Troops. As the retreat was being conducted, the 62nd acted bravely while keeping the Confederates out of striking distance. The retreat was quick and orderly, with 2 companies of the 34th Indiana and a detachment of the U.S. cavalry were either captured or killed. The last shot of the last battle of the American Civil War was now over. Although a Confederate victory, the South had lost the war. The last soldier of the war killed in action fell at the Battle of Palmetto Ranch, Texas. He was Private John J. Williams of the 34th Indiana Regiment.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this tour. I've only showed you a few of the artifacts in the museum. There is a whole lot more to see. Plus, they have an excellent short video about Texas involvement in the Civil War. Good day, folks.